Here it goes. This will be a show.
This is going to be a great show. I can't wait. I'm excited to be taught about the internet. Something. Do you have a spooky song? I don't have my headphones.
We'll reboot. We'll reboot it.
Hold on. I can figure this out. I got this.
Let me know when you're ready.
I got it.
Just wait.
Okay.
Hold on.
5.
No. Okay, I got it. I got it.
3, 2, 1.
It's the Time Spent Portly Show with Derek and Eduardo. Each week they meet to discuss a variety of pop culture topics and your mom. Learn more about your hosts and their tried and true use of mom jokes that aren't played out at all at tspn.fun. Because your time's no fun unless you're spending it poorly. Come spend yours with us. Tonight's guest is the lovely Bree. Without further delay, here are your hosts, Derek and Eduardo.
Woo! A spook!
Oh,
God damn it! I can't breathe in this thing.
we shit the bed on that
Woo!
one. No one's even seen you yet.
It's a
Put the mask back
Here.
on.
It's a
Put it back.
spooky. It's a spookums.
It's actually really scary.
Woo!
Is it a dog or a horse?
I don't know. I think it's a horse.
Where'd you get it?
Amazon Prime.
Sarah Jessica Parker's closet.
When she's going on a date.
We got Sarah Jessica Parker as our guest. We got Callista Flockhart over here.
Wait. What are you for Halloween, Ford?
Man.
I didn't dress up today.
That's disappointing
I
because
know.
Rick went all out. He really did.
He did. And he's sitting next to me.
Nice.
Does anybody want to take a wild guess about what I am for Halloween?
Are you a witch?
Wrong.
A wizard.
No.
I guess you gotta see my other prop.
I'm actually a vampire.
Ah!
I brought this bag of blood to sip from tonight.
Yeah.
It's wine.
You,
I took it
all
out
you have
of
to
the
do is
box.
tap the bag.
I'm just gonna suck on it.
That's a good costume.
Suck on it. Every now and then.
I like that.
Have you ever tapped? You've tapped the bag.
I think it'd be funny to like just be a total bitch to people. They're like, "Are you a witch?" No, I'm a vampire, fucker. And you pull it.
Yes. Well,
You
yes.
stupid.
It's pretty good.
This is what's left of my box of wine.
Happy Halloween! Didn't we, Ward, wasn't that on this show where we found like a ripoff to Monster Mash?
Yeah, it was terrible. I don't remember what it was.
It was like, it was basically like, it's the Creeper's Dash.
Can you help me? I've never actually taken a drink like this out of a box of wine. Ready?
Yeah,
Chug.
Shotgun it.
you're gonna tap it. You're gonna tap the bag. It works, doesn't it?
Yep.
Gotta tap the bag.
Some good blood.
Yeah.
I threw up horrendously at a party one time from doing that.
From chugging
Yeah.
boxed wine.
I had a bunch of beer too. I went in reverse order. Oh, hey, we're back.
We're getting drawn tonight. I think we got so excited about getting drawn
Yeah.
that content went out the window.
Yeah.
It's all right. I got plenty to
Bree-
talk about.
Draw us like one of your French whores. That's the line, right?
Yeah.
From Titanic.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No, of course I've seen it.
When you're done drawing me, Jack, I wanted you to stick your dick in my mouth. What?
Okay, so Bree, you're back on the show. Last time you were on the show, you called in.
Really drunk, yeah.
You were super drunk, but you were talking to us about death doulas. And more is developed on that. right?
Yeah.
Hold
'Cause-
on, Bree, your level's really low.
Is it because I'm not talking directly?
Is your mic turned?
Yep.
My bad. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay.
It's okay. There you go.
That's okay.
I'm
we
an
got
amateur.
You're fine. You don't have the headphones on, so you couldn't tell.
Oh.
But we can hear you.
it now. Yeah.
Am
You're
I
good
too loud now?
No, you're fine. I can actually
Fine.
give you a little bit of gain. There.
Get some gains. But you called in and you were talking to us about death doulas. And now you've had some development in that area.
Yeah, I'm an angel of death now.
That's not.
I go around and unplug people's machines.
Without permission.
But I don't get paid to do it, if that's what you mean.
And they're actually just wide awake, too. They're not even like on death's door. Just walks around. Beep! They're like,
what are you doing?
they're like, please leave my
I don't
room.
even need that.
I'm in my full costume though, like the hood, the scythe.
Like,
all
please
that.
leave my room.
I'm like
you're like,
that
"Sleep."
Robin Williams movie, Patch
Yeah.
Adams, but I'm death, and I show up to people's hospital rooms.
It's ironic because that movie makes me want to kill myself. Yes, humor causes cancer or cures cancer. Cures, not causes, maybe causes too.
We don't know.
Yes, it causes and cures it. I gave you the cause. I gave you cancer, then I cured it. Yes.
It's sad. He's dead.
Yeah, he is.
For
R.I.P.
5
Robin.
years now.
It's been 5 years.
5 years.
God
yeah.
damn.
Feels like longer.
Jeez. Well, anyway.
Yeah.
So you are not.
Yeah.
You're not an angel of death.
I might as
You
well
work
be.
for a funeral home, though.
Yeah, I'm an apprentice. I'm a mortician's apprentice now.
That's exciting.
It is.
Ward, did you have
exciting.
questions? You had questions that you wanted to ask her.
Well, so I guess I want kind of like a rundown of what it's like. I mean, are you to the point?
I do everything. I've shoved butt plugs at people at this point,
Really?
and cotton.
And you suck out all their fluids and
I
everything
do
like that?
with my mouth.
The machine.
It's a.
And the machine.
Like she's sucking out venom out of a snake wound.
It's like my coworkers walk in and they're like, "Bree, get your mouth off the client."
You're
no.
using paper straws, right?
Yeah.
Because we
I
don't want to
mean-
kill the turtles.
Yeah,
Save
it's-
the turtles.
Save the turtles, of course.
Right?
Would you say overall
And I
overall
hope-
though, do you like it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Isn't that the Visco girl thing?
The what?
The Dr. Phil girl?
I
no,
don't know.
that's Cash Me Outside. I have no,
no,
idea.
no,
You were
there's-
talking to somebody who is 25, but I'm actually immortal, and I have no idea what the kids like these days.
So the people that are immortal don't like
They
keep
don't.
up with
Anything.
No.
current events.
No, have you
No,
seen
my
those
kids
shows?
are-
They're always like still old.
I'm fancy.
You ever seen shows with immortals in it? They're always immortal, but they don't know what anything is now.
But we're still on point, like trendy, and somehow we manage.
My face smells like rubber.
I can smell it from here.
Can you? Yeah, it smells like this mask.
Yeah, that's why I'm not going to wear it. I bought it for my Halloween costume, but I'm going to be holding it on a 9-foot stick
Nice.
and scaring children as a tall demon.
I am not going to wear it again,
It's all right.
but I'm glad I wore it the once.
You look good. It was
Thank
a good
you.
look for you.
Thank you. You've seen some grisly stuff though now.
I mean, I don't want to brag. No, I'm just kidding. What can I get in trouble for? I don't even know at this point.
Well, we never say where we work, ever.
Okay. I
And we
won't
never
say
tell-
the place, even though we all know where we live. I'm sure people know where we live at
We
this
have
point,
people
and
who
we
listen
can
to this
narrow it down.
We have people who listen to the show who are not from here,
Cool. Don't Google us.
and just don't say any of the names of people. Obviously,
Oh, I won't.
Well, then you're fine.
Half of them I don't remember their name at this point.
but it's fine otherwise.
They're just
Yeah.
corpses. So, I mean,
That's bad.
it's just, it all sounds really bad because you're supposed to be like respectful and stuff. And
But I'm not.
They're grieving. And
Supposed to be respectful and stuff. I'm totally fucking not.
I know. Well, it's just like
You
you
are
seen
though.
one dead body, you seen them all, kind of thing.
I don't know if I
Until
want
it's like
to do that.
until I don't know. I'll say one thing. I have not seen a dead child yet, so I've seen tons of dead babies, tons and tons of dead babies. I have held 18 dead babies in a day.
That is disturbing for just this area.
Yes. It was a unique situation, and I can't go into details about why there was 18 dead babies at once. But it was science related. I'll just leave it at that.
Science!
Science.
Blinding me with science. Dead babies. That's fucked up.
Wow. Bringing it back to that light
you.
feeling. Thank you.
I always do it. I have a way with words.
I don't know. What else do you want to know?
Does it get? I don't know.
Not everybody poops when they die. Thank you for all the ones who have died who have not pooped.
So the ones that do poop, do they arrive having pooped then?
It just depends on the situation. Usually if they're in a home, like a nursing home or something, or they're on hospice, they usually have a diaper on anyways. Usually, sometimes, if we're lucky, kind of. So then at that point, I mean, it just depends on if they're in embalming. Because if they're in embalming, then that means we have to actually touch the poo-poo. But if they're a cremation, we kind of just, you know, you go in poo-poo and all. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
How, like, okay, so say, for example, somebody finds their loved one after they've been, they've shuffled loose from
They
their
pooped?
mortal coil. No,
See, shuffled loose, I thought was another term for.
days prior to being found. Like,
Oh yeah. My first pickup
how
was somebody.
recoverable is a person like that for a viewing, or
Oh.
are they kind of like a cremation deal?
We usually recommend anybody who is who's like bloated and beyond recognition. We don't recommend it. So we can't do a public viewing, and we can't really embalm them because if their skin is slipping off, then it just means they're beyond embalming, for the most part.
Neat.
So,
The skin is slipping off.
that's
Can
what
you
it's
des-
called, is skin slip. Yeah, your skin
Can you
begins to slip.
describe that?
No!
No, don't do it.
It happens pretty
So is it
quick.
just kind of like it just peels off like banana peel, or
Well, it happens more quickly in older people because their skin is already really frail,
right?
and so
And we don't
it's usually like
we
skin
don't even
slip.
like touching older people because of that.
If a person
Not even
isn't
alive
embalmed
people.
very well,
That's what I mean.
like their skin, if I've had it happen to me before where I've pulled over an embalmed person and they weren't embalmed very well on that arm, and I've pulled them over and their skin just slipped underneath my hand.
sloughs off.
And it creates a problem when they're embalmed. Since she wasn't embalmed very well,
So what do you have to do? Do you have to like patch her up with some Play-Doh, or
no, we have to. What we do is we
Duct
take
tape.
Saran wrap and some cotton, and some like cotton sheets, and we wrap it around them, and we like have this spray adhesive, and we just do layers of it and hope that their clothes cover it if there's a viewing. So if you see any sort of plastic wrap on your loved one being viewed, it's because of that, to prevent leaks,
Wow.
because it will leak onto the clothes and look not good.
right?
And our goal is to make them look like they're fine. They're not dead.
They're just sleeping.
They're just sleeping.
Right.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, see, before I married my wife, she had some family members that had passed away, and I had the opportunity for the first time in my life to see like people that had been through that process.
You mean
viewing.
embalmed?
Yeah, well, yeah, and so I went to the viewing not necessarily at my will, but out of like
Respect.
support. And so, they always did. It was always like a pretty good job, but it was also. It was always kind of a weird thing for
They
me.
almost never look exactly like how they looked when they
Right.
were alive, because all the moisture leaves, and
It's almost kind of like
we do
a wax museum figure when you go to like.
well, we definitely try to prevent that because there's this powder that we use. So we'll put the makeup on you to give you your color back, and then we kind of sprinkle this powder on your face to prevent that waxy look. So maybe they didn't put that powder on for whatever reason.
Well, no, I mean, okay, so, but have you been to a wax museum recently?
Mm-mm.
They're really realistic.
Yeah, they are.
Now.
Hair and all,
Yeah.
creepy.
I got up close to like a Steve Jobs one, and he's got like, I mean,
Pores?
they have, huh?
Does he have pores?
Oh yeah,
Creepy.
He just looked over and he's like, "Get out of my face." It was him.
yeah. He's like, go away. And he's like, I'm in Ripley's, bitch.
I've been to a Ripley's
Believe it or not.
in Oregon.
I had
Is
the
that where you
chance to go to a
San
Ripley's, but we
Francisco.
didn't.
You were in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Was it in Newport?
Mm-hmm.
I
I've been
know.
there.
I was gonna go there, but then we went to the underground aquarium thing.
Maybe we'll go to Ripley's one of these days.
Okay, sure.
They had a DB Cooper display.
Oh yeah.
That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, the one we went to.
Are we boring you?
Yeah.
I went to the DB Cooper one, and when you're walking and you see like the guy hanging from this parachute. And
Oh,
then
uh-huh.
when you walk around, there's like a tree. So there's like a tree and there's like a branch, and he's hanging from the branch, and the parachute, he's just kind of hanging there. And then when you walk on the other side of the tree and you look up, all you see is the parachute hanging there and no guy. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Probably a mirrors thing. It was cool though.
That
It was,
is
you're
cool.
like, and you're kind of like, what the?
Yeah, Ripley's is cool about doing like optical illusion type stuff.
Yeah, it was interesting.
But so you never seen the Visco girl thing, huh?
No.
Okay. This was something that my stupid kids made me watch.
I just now saw the ghost
Uh,
that's in our frame.
You like that?
I just pointed out here like a while ago.
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Um,
She's
Spooky
scary.
Ghost.
So
You pulled that up that fast?
Oh man, she got the hydro flask and all.
Hi,
Scrunch.
you must be new. Yeah, this is a new hydro flask. Oh, you don't have one? How
Why
do
is
you
she
make your
doing that?
friendship bracelets then? That's kind of weird.
She's like a female version of a B-boy.
Well,
gonna have
save the
to,
turtles. Oh, these are just my scrunchies. I noticed you don't have one. Really? You keep that. Don't even worry about it.
What the fuck? Why is she doing that?
Yeah, I apply this like every 5 to 10 minutes.
Look up what an E-boy is.
It's my fave, really. Try some. Oh my god, you're not wearing a big tee, but do not fret. I actually brought an extra. Here you go. You can keep. Don't even worry. Oh my god, that smell is actually my brand new Victoria's Secret scent. Yeah, Bombshell. You never heard? Weird. Right. Okay.
Does
well,
she
it was
know
nice
that
meeting
this
you.
is a reason why?
She's obviously being sarcastic.
Does she know that this? I know, but does she know that she's the reason why old people hate kids?
Hi, you're new, right? I'm presenting myself. I'm Bisco Girl. Whoa.
What the fuck?
Oh, wow. You're really cute. But don't use...
Kids shouldn't have access to the internet.
yeah,
Or cameras, at least.
My boys showed that to my daughter, so she started doing it the other day.
Oh jeez.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Are you gonna be all right?
I'm gonna be okay,
Gonna have to put her down.
but it's
Sleep.
fucking crazy. I didn't know you guys hadn't seen that or
No.
were aware of it.
If you look up E-boys, they're basically the same thing but dudes.
Oh,
E-boys.
E-boys are great. Lee terrible.
Okay, which one should we look at here?
Yes,
Well, you're sending it to him.
I know.
Which one should we look at here? E-boys videos.
Yeah, obviously.
TikTok one has good.
This
I
one.
mean, yeah,
Oh no, go to
'Cause they're on
E-boy TikTok compilation.
that's just okay.
Oh, I saw it. I just now see what that is.
The eye roll thingy. Choking.
Ugh.
Chain biting. Veins. Did it work?
I found the e-boy at school. They actually exist. There he is. Look it, it's an e-boy.
I be killing bitches till the end of me. Choking on your words, tell you when it's gonna hurt. I'm a
Yeah, I mean, we can exit out of that because it's your copyright stuff.
Wow.
But basically, they're just turds.
Yeah.
That is.
Kids are
stupid.
doing that now. That's what kids are doing.
That's yeah. What would that be the equivalent to when we
From
were
our
growing up?
Podcasting.
No. Even, well, yeah. Okay, so that's the de-evolution of
Sad.
mankind.
TikTok has been a place for weirdos to go and just like have at it with their stupidity and cringe, but it's like what Vine. It's like Vine's fetal alcohol syndrome child
Yeah.
or like cousin.
Vine was fun though.
Vine was really fun.
Did you make vines?
No, it was before my time.
Just watched them.
I just watched them.
I made vines.
I'm young.
I made some good vines.
immortal.
I wish I could have kept those somehow.
I'd seen some of your vines
They're great.
at one point.
I made that one. It's like Jimmy's gay wedding catering business. We got hot dogs, cucumbers, bananas, dick shapes.
Sorry.
It was hard to, you had to cut it.
I had to like.
You have to like cut
Yeah.
it. So you're like, so it was like Jimmy's gay wedding catering business, and it was like, I had the plate at home, and I was like, cucumbers, hot dogs, bananas, and it's just me like dick shapes.
How did you? How did you do? Because like you showed me like the Lil Sasso compilation ones.
Oh yeah, those are great.
But how does a guy do those? Like, do you just like film for a second and then stop?
Yeah.
And film for a second
Yeah,
and it just lets it.
yeah. You have to do it in order, and you just cut it, and then you just film and then film and then film and then film, and you just do it all together. So I did that one. I did
It's
one
like an on-the-go edit, or basically, all in one.
And then I did the one downtown with the those statues, the statues with the fountain. And it, like like the one in the middle looks like it's being waterboarded. I was like, where do you keep the WMDs? And it's like, I don't know. I had some pretty good ones. I think just the ones from work. I worked at Rite Aid at the time. I made a lot of commercials for products there.
Yeah, mostly in the makeup aisle.
The makeup aisle, like Wet and Wild. I was like, oh, Wet and or Wild. And then I did one for there's a morning after pill called My Way, and I was like, my way or the highway. And then there's a brand of like breast pumps called Even Flow, and I was like, Even Flow, pumping boobies for the babies. And then we sold amaryllis, like those flowers. And I was like, amaryllis by morning. Stupid. I did those while I was working, getting paid. Good stuff. Made commercials. Stupid. Wish I could have kept them, though. They were fun to make. But now I'm just as cringy as those TikTok kids.
No.
They wanted to make commercials. Will Sasso's are the best ones.
Yeah,
The lemon ones are great. But yeah, I'd say they took TikTok and they took Vine and went a step below it, which is sad. We're gonna take the thing now. We're gonna watch you.
Well, not yet.
No?
Yeah, I'm doing just the sketch right now.
Oh, okay. We want to watch you sketch.
Okay.
We watched.
When I do the marker, I'll take it down.
You messaged us, or you messaged me, and you said that you'd watched Living with Yourself with Paul
Yeah.
Rudd.
Yeah.
So we went and watched it all in 2 days. Because they're 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, you blew
Love
it out,
that.
You blow it out quick. It's 8 episodes
Yeah.
long.
I
You're
like
done
that,
in-
though.
You're done in a couple hours.
It's like Glow,
Really?
though.
Yeah.
If they would have been, and same thing with Glow, if they would have been hour-long episodes, I don't know if it would have been watchable.
Yeah, well, I mean, because each half hour has its own little. It's a pretty quick story, and it just pushes you right into the. Like, it just makes you want to hit play on the next one.
Well, every
especially
episode kind of covers the same time period. So, like, the first episode is from his point of view. The second episode's from his clone's point of view.
Yeah, well, what it ends up doing, I think, it does like the POV in like a 10 or 15 or like 10 to 15 minutes of it,
Yeah.
and then it like loads out the rest over.
Yeah. It was cool, though. I liked it a lot.
I liked the relationship aspect of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the depression part of it too.
Yep.
And just watching how.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly a relatable thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Tom Brady joke.
The Tom Brady
was
joke's
hilarious.
great. How many times have you done this? 6.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a funny joke.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love later on when they're digging.
Is that
through
Tom Brady?
Is that Tom Brady? Bree and I, as we were watching the show, though, were like, man, I just feel like this situation would have been a lot different if it was us. Like, if I would have came home and been like, hey, look, I did something stupid. I cloned myself. Should have been like, all right, spit roast me.
Eiffel Tower me.
Yep, Eiffel Tower me. And then now we're just living with 2 Dereks.
One extra person.
It's a lot of food we gotta buy, though.
One extra person to stay home and do chores.
He can be my slave.
It would be you. You'd be staying home and doing chores.
That's fine. I'd send his ass to work.
Exactly.
Go do my job better than me. Which they do in the show.
And
kinda.
then they would go clone me, and then we would just have an all-out orgy.
Yep. Orgy. Yep.
Cool.
4-way.
And then
With 2 happy clones and 2... I think our sad clones would leave, though. They'd be like... Or our happy clones. They'd be like, these guys suck.
I don't know. I think I'd fall in love with mine.
Be like,
Scissor.
mine... My clone would be like, this guy's like fucking Eeyore.
And then I would take my dog and clone 1,000,000 of her, and we would have 1,000,000 Pomeranians
Mm-hmm.
in our house.
Shitting, pissing.
Exactly.
In the house.
In the house.
Yep.
Not the cats, though.
No, fuck them.
Nope.
No
Too
more
many.
cats.
No more cats. We're done.
I love our cats, but they're also the biggest assholes.
Yeah.
I woke up this morning and my sewing stuff was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I had to throw it all away because she unraveled every single spool and got it around the computer chair.
Uh-huh.
All of them.
Every one of them.
It was like a maypole.
Jesus.
Yeah. They were in a bag too.
She got
2
them out.
bags. They were in a Ziploc bag in another bag.
In another bag.
And she found them.
Were they catnip?
There's spools of
No,
thread.
she's just the
spools
spawn of
thread?
Satan.
Jesus, that's nuts.
Yeah.
We should have named her Lucy.
Yeah, we should have. But Living with Yourself, though, I overall liked the show a lot. I again hope they don't do a sequel. I think they should just leave it as a standalone. I think they kind of set it up to do it, but they also kind of left it to where it could be by itself.
Yeah,
I foresee them doing a sequel with the baby.
Yeah. With them all 3.
And how
having a
that
baby.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna happen. They're gonna do. It's like the one with Ricky Gervais where it would have been a good
Yeah.
standalone one. And
Oh yeah, and then they announced
gonna
they're
make
doing
a
a
Oh,
yeah.
is that Life After?
Yeah.
I love that show.
Afterlife.
Or Afterlife, yeah.
Yeah.
I watched that twice.
It's good. It's really good. It only needed to be 1 season though. The
I
end.
love his movie, The Invention of Lying.
Yeah, I like that movie too.
I like his explanation for religion.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, hey, let's not be scared of dying and just create this
Yeah, he just creates
a world
heaven.
where you go when you die.
Did you see the invention of lying?
Spoiler alert, it's about the invention of religion.
It's. I think I have, but
It's old, yeah.
Yeah, it's faint memory.
It's good though. It's a good movie.
I'm still pissed about watching that stupid. What's her name? Jenny Slate special.
Yeah, what was the deal with it? You watched the special.
Yeah, you know who Jenny Slate is.
I know who
right?
she is. Yeah, she plays
A Zapperstein twin, and
yeah, in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
That's how I know her actually.
she's almost
Money,
as
please.
annoying as that character. No, but I don't know. She's Jewish, so there's the whole like Jewish heritage thing, and it was like it. I don't feel like she's been around long enough to warrant having her own special that kind of like deep dives into like her family and stuff. I mean, good, great, that's fine, but it was
Yeah.
like in her comedy wasn't all that funny.
Broad
Or
City.
original.
Broad City's my favorite. Every time I watch it, though, I get depressed that I don't have a best friend like that.
Have you watched Broad City?
I haven't. She did make a joke
Hilarious.
that she gets mistaken for.
Oh, it's because
People
those
in
two
that
girls
show.
are Jewish as well,
Yeah.
which is very sad that people are mistaking Jewish girls for each other.
Jenny Slate's also in the Venom movie, and she's the one in the movie trailer that says symbiote.
Ugh.
There's symbiotes. It's like, come on. Who let her keep saying that?
She started on
symbiote.
Saturday Night Live.
She did, yeah.
And was, I would say, tolerable while she was on that. But I don't
She's
know.
funny in
It's-
Parks and Rec.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you get given lines, anybody can be funny.
She's also in Kroll Show. I think that's probably where she got a lot of the notoriety.
I think
Because
Parks
she's in
and
that
Rec.
Liz and Liz.
Parks and Rec is where I think she got a lot of
Yeah.
passes.
But in the Kroll Show, not Big Mouth because that show's a dumpster fire, but in Kroll Show, she does that bit Liz and Liz. It's because my name's Liz or whatever. Our names are Liz. But she does a bunch of skits with them.
Okay.
I think
she
there is
was in that one show that we watched where she was like a wife to that old dude.
Yeah, that's right.
When was that show?
Married.
That's right, and she
Isn't
was
it?
good in that.
Yeah.
It was a minimal
I
part
think-
though.
I think Jenny Slate does have I think there is a population of people out there that do actually really like her though. That are actually big fans of her.
Well, obviously she's got a special on Netflix. Somebody's got to give a shit, right?
Well, yeah, but so does Amy Schumer, but I don't know. I've yet to meet anybody that's actually a fan of Amy Schumer.
That's true.
It's all the same people who love Melissa McCarthy. So
Oh,
like
right.
middle-aged white women.
It ruins my day, it my body up. The worst thing is like just be yourself. Cause I'm like, oh, okay, you should see how many selves there are in my psyche. Okay, let's get started. And I'm just like,
Oh.
I am a human adult woman from planet Earth. I'm horny. No. My Nana Connie calls me very often, and she always says the same thing, and it goes like this. You are gorgeous. And it's not just that you're gorgeous. It's that you're good. Suck on it! JK. I feel like a turtle that just got roller skates and realized that things can be fast. I'm just like,
Pass.
who gives a death will come for all of us. I'm dressed for it.
I'd still fuck her.
I didn't say that. I didn't say I wouldn't do that.
Okay, so you said pass. So you basically
Pass
got
on
the
the
gist.
show. I got the
you
gist
got
of
the
the
gist
show.
of it right
Yeah,
there.
I'm good.
But what's your take?
I mean,
You might be able to better articulate it than say
I don't-
did. Because all of my stuff comes from like I have a feeling, but it also whenever I say anything, it comes out like I just hate her.
I feel like it was kind of like what I said, which is I feel like the jokes that she's giving are very much directed towards the audience that she's
Her
somehow
demo.
she's
Yeah.
gained. She's gained like this audience who obviously thinks she's really funny. But I do like that she's owned it. Like she's owned whatever audience she has. I feel like she didn't try to make a special to try to get additional viewers.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you watch Chris D'Elia stuff, and there's nothing against Chris D'Elia, I think the guy's pretty funny. But you do watch his stuff, and his stuff is like his early specials are pretty funny. And each special as he keeps going is kind of goes like Dane
feel like-
Cook almost, where where it just tries to get so broad that it'll just get anybody.
Yeah, he's doing that. I feel like Tom Segura's kind of doing that too.
Man, he's still really funny though.
Oh, I like Segura's stuff, but I feel like I don't know.
But yeah, I guess he does. He has changed his style a little bit.
Their way of adapting or evolving, I guess, has been to placate to the audience.
Yeah, I mean,
But I guess it
guess
is what
you
it
should,
is.
You should a little bit. I feel like Aziz Ansari went the other way. His early stand up is so like he talks about R. Kelly and R&B, and he's like kind of loud and annoying. And then now he has that new one on Netflix. I haven't watched it, but it's like him sitting on a stool, like doing like storytelling, and it's like, am I enough fan of Aziz Ansari to watch him tell me a story? Like Master of None's good. It is.
Well, he had to come back and do his whole. Well, it wasn't like an apology tour.
Well, he
but
got
it was
kind of
that-
Me Too'd.
He had the Me Too
Yeah.
thing, and he had to come back and be like, and then treat it with some delicacy.
His wasn't as bad though. I mean, he didn't get near as much flack.
Oh, he escaped it
Yeah.
ultimately, but
Well, wasn't his kind of like a scenario where basically 30 million men and then 30 million women were also kind of like, yeah, I think I've kind of done that a little bit too, though, a little bit. Didn't he kind of like...
it was like
he like hit on a
he's
girl.
more interested than she is, and that's called
Flirting.
yeah. And so
Yeah, I think his scenario was like he hit on a girl who they were supposed to go on a date, and he was like way more interested in her than she was, and then
He jerked off in front of her.
didn't do that. No, I don't think anything really came from it. I don't really remember. I guess that's how insignificant it is, right? Is that I don't know.
It came and went in like a week.
Yeah.
There we go.
But I don't think it really went far.
What's the quickest way?
I guess I did.
Find out the Okay, I was surprised and concerned. That was a quote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In September last year, I met a woman at a party. We exchanged numbers. We texted back and forth and eventually went on a date. We went out to dinner, and afterwards we ended up engaging in sexual activity, which by all indications was completely consensual. Ansari wrote in a statement obtained by CNN Sunday. The next day I got a text from her saying that although it may have seemed okay, upon further reflection she felt uncomfortable. It was true that everything did seem okay to me, so when I heard that it was not the case for her, I was surprised and concerned. I took her words to heart and responded privately after taking the time to process what she had said.
Oh, you know what? I do remember a little bit more about this. Before we even read any further, there was one of the things what the girl did though. Okay. She posted the story and she was attacked. But she wasn't just attacked by, like, usually when women post stories on the internet, a bunch of, like, incel creepy dudes come out of the woodwork and comment and, like, attack the woman.
Yeah.
In this case, though, a bunch of women attacked her.
Right.
And I think that kind of hurt them any momentum it could have gotten because it was a bunch of women that came out. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong either way. I'm not taking a stance on that. I am saying that I do remember, though, women on TV, though, like anchors and different women, like, speaking up and saying, like, that was, like, I don't know, like, it was a bunch of it was a bunch of women attacking her. I think that hurt any momentum it could have gotten, though.
Yeah, I think what it basically kind of got chalked up to was that it was just kind of like a
misunderstanding, and Aziza Ansari is not as smooth as you'd like to think.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
He's not Tom Haverford smooth.
Yeah. Oh, my fingies. Yeah. I mean, I feel sorry for the woman too.
Right.
Because it's kind of, I'm sure it's kind of a shitty situation to post like a story online and
you
then
don't want to
have
be like the person who says no to a famous person too, right? Like,
right. And I also don't want to be the person that says no to a famous person and then have a bunch of my own gender attack me for it. Which I think is what happened to her. I think a lot of women came out and were like, "You're just trying to get attention." It's icky.
Well, what was he like? Were
you Den Master of None?
Well, no, but I mean, there had already been several other people.
Oh, he was. I mean, he was on the tail end.
And so so it was like here's another one.
Yeah.
TJ Miller's got a lot against him.
Yeah, he does.
But he's still managing to work somehow.
Well, he's not getting like big
much.
work. Yeah, and he's not getting big work either. He's getting like small bit. Like he's doing like
he's back to like scraping for little stuff.
Yeah, he's doing bit work and club work now.
Yeah.
But he's actually, and it's not even like bit work. They're not putting him on TV anymore.
He's got some credits coming up.
Does he?
Yeah.
But
what I like to do is
but not Transformers Revenge of the Fallen or whatever the fuck movie it was credit.
Yeah, Harvey Weinstein doesn't have any either coming up.
No, I don't think he's going to get anything for a while.
Kevin Spacey, I'm holding out just because he's a good actor.
I don't think he's done anything.
No, he's done. Let's see. Underwater. In post-production. He was in Deadpool 2, but that I think had already been filmed.
Yeah.
The Stand-In. What's The Stand-In? Ellie Kemper's in it. Drew Barrymore.
It also doesn't help that TJ Miller got in trouble for a bunch of other shit too, though.
What else did he get in trouble for?
Oh,
he does outlandish things.
Yeah, just his outlandish stuff started getting him in actual trouble, though, like the bomb threat thing.
Yeah. Principal photography began in January 2019. So yeah, I mean he's definitely got his career is
he's still
damaged.
Doing stuff, but yeah, I don't think he'll ever get anything big again.
Let's see. He had that brain surgery.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, really? That was during Yogi Bear. I listened to a whole podcast about it.
Allegations of transphobia. Uber assault incident. Oh, boy. Oh, God.
Amtrak work misconduct accusations.
Oh, God. It's a long list.
Yeah, I mean, he left Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
And he was like...
He's one of the better parts of the show.
Yeah.
The show's all right.
It's not bad.
It's not my thing.
It's not fantastic. I watch it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those ones that I'm not like, oh, I can't wait for Silicon Valley to come out. The whole season will probably run before I even...
Yeah, I mean, I think I watched season 1 and 2. We did go watch Zombieland 2. Zombieland Double Tap.
I went and saw it too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. Yeah. What'd you think about it?
I like the girl that they thought they killed or that they thought turned.
Madison or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like her?
Oh yeah, I thought she was one of the funnier parts of the movie.
Yeah, I'd
Derek
say
loved her.
I loved that she is alive because it just doesn't. It's like how.
Yeah, a peanut allergy.
They're more afraid of you than you are of them. So bad. Like how? How did she survive? I don't know. You liked her too.
I'd say that was probably the most enjoyable part of the movie for me. And the Bill Murray part at the end.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was really good. I still liked the movie overall.
The movie was good. And it was my kids loved it. Cameron, especially because I took the boys to it.
Yeah.
Cameron especially because he hadn't seen the first one.
Oh.
So he got to experience it as kind of like a fresh thing. I got to experience it as almost like kind of a reboot to the original.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen that first
How
movie
could
in a
he
long
watch
time.
that? Because there's references to the old one.
I don't think he's 11. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
It's just a fun ride.
Yeah. I loved Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
loved
Middleditch, too.
and Middleditch, yeah. I loved that whole
Spoilers.
Yeah.
The dynamic. Yeah, if you're waiting to watch Zombieland to stop listening. Here.
Turn it off now. But
yeah, I wasn't expecting him to get killed off so fast.
no, I mean, I guess I'm not.
I mean,
surprised
I wasn't surprised, but I was kind of like, okay, well, that's what they would do.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. You know what was the most amazing part about the movie is that it ended so fast. I mean, we're like, oh my god, like you're used at this point. You're completely used to a 2.5 hour or 2 hour movie, and I don't think that movie breaks 2 hours.
It's 90 minutes.
Is it 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe 100. I can't remember, but we went and saw it at Regal Cinema in Spokane, and and I don't know. Did you watch it here?
We watched it here. Yeah.
Okay. So here, when you go to watch a movie, you get like 2 previews and you're good. You're done. You're into the movie.
Yeah, it was quick.
Regal Cinemas in Spokane, you're watching previews for 25 fucking minutes.
Wow.
Before the movie starts.
You know, but I almost
which I would have thought I would have liked.
Sure.
And I would have in a time when I didn't have access to all that immediately online.
Yeah, I guess that's why they've changed that, right?
Right.
Because you can watch all those online.
Right. If there wasn't access to it online, I would be more than happy to sit and like suffer through all the trailers.
What was in the trailers for ours, Bree? Do you remember the trailers?
I don't. Nothing good, I guess.
Do you remember watching trailers
All I can
when you were a
remember
kid?
is being like angry that somebody walked in with a newborn baby, a 7-year-old kid, and there was somebody who had a coughing cold the entire time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the 7-year-old kid we didn't notice until he started talking and commentating.
When Bree and I first started watching movies together in the movie theater, she was fine in any situation. She would just watch the movie, tune everybody out.
Yeah.
She can't do it anymore. I've ruined it.
I
have, because I fucking hate going to movies in the theaters because I hate hearing people around me.
Oh, what he's saying is I used to be patient, and now I've learned that it's actually okay and nobody cares that you're patient. You can be an asshole in public, and nobody can do anything when you have a giant man next to you.
It is true. We went to Midsommar.
Yep.
And there were a bunch of kids. The movie's rated R, by the way, so somebody just let their kids in. Somebody got their kids in. Was it Midsommar with all the kids?
I don't think there was a really bad sex scene in that. I don't think kids were in that one. I don't think it was Midsommar.
We don't go watch very many movies in theaters.
It was something else. It wasn't Midsommar. Believe me.
I think
Us?
it was Midsommar.
It might have been. That might have been
It was us. It was
Yeah.
absolutely us. So we went and watched Us in theaters, and in front of us was a whole row of like little 7th graders, and they were talking the entire fucking...
I remember you telling me about this.
8th graders, 7th graders, young.
They were on their
phones, talking, getting up, running around, talking to each other, getting on their phones again. I finally had to fucking lean forward, and I didn't say much. All I said was, "Stop it. It's almost over."
It was like they paid for a movie just to hang out, not at their parents' house.
Yeah. But
instead of being like polite and just hanging out in the lobby for 2 hours, but paying,
Yeah.
or pocketing the money that their parents gave
Yeah.
them for the tickets.
Yeah.
They went into the movie and were rude the entire
Oh
time.
my God. And we're trying every single time I'm like getting into the movie again. I get taken out of it again by these kids talking to where I couldn't even get into any of the spookums that could have potentially come up because these kids start taking me out of it again.
Yeah.
And finally, I had to. I'm like, stop it. It's almost over. And they corked up. They shut it immediately. They looked back at me and they saw me and saw the size of me and all shut up. But I was just, come on,
and in
man.
the eyes of a 7th grader, you're like 50 years old.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm 100 years old. I went to a movie a while. I've always been the type of person that will say something.
Yeah.
I will absolutely say something. I went to a movie.
He's like direct about it though. I'm really passive aggressive when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to stuff like that. Like in class, there was 2 kids that would sit in front of me. It was like we had to face each other on a table, and they would just not shut up during class when the teacher was talking. And I ended up just drawing like this elaborate thing one day in class because I was so frustrated, but I didn't want to say anything. And then I turned it around and it just said in really detailed calligraphy, "Shut the fuck up." And he was right across from me and he was like, ugh. And I was just, then I turned red and
Yeah, I'm scared.
yeah.
I've always been very direct. And it's never been a thing where I'll like stand up and like I'm not gonna like beat on my chest and act like I'm gonna get in a fight.
Yeah.
I'm just direct. So I've been in the movie theater and someone's foot was on the back of my chair, on the back, and I could feel it on the back of my chair and I'm like, whoa, whatever. They're not like shaking their foot or anything. Like it's not a big deal. I turn my head and it's a foot in a fucking flop. It's a bare foot in my fucking face. So I turn around, I'm like, and I just go, put your fucking foot down. And it was a girl, and she puts her foot down, and her boyfriend next to her is like, what's that? And I turn around and I'm like, I just look at him. I could barely turn my neck. My back's so bad.
I almost.
Don't make me get winded killing you, bud.
I got pretty upset. I handled it passive aggressively, but just by like shooting off text to Nicole, bitching about the guy because we were at the Weezer concert over at the State Fair with the kids, and there was a guy, and we were sitting in like the stadium seating, and there was a guy sitting behind me, and like he kept putting his foot, and he's like a young kid, kept putting his foot down, and like sticking it like right up the crack of my ass. I could feel it. And so I turn around and I kind of give him a look, and he'd be like, oh, and he'd move his foot. But then he'd do it again. And so it's like he knows he's doing, like, you can't
you're doing it, yeah.
You have your foot in my ass. Yeah, I mean, and I just was biting my tongue. And like, another time I would have blown up at him. It just kind of depends on the time
I've gotten
that it is, because I can be very short, and other times I can be really like exceedingly patient.
I can be
and
patient
deal
depending
with-
on who I'm with.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm in like my class right now, there's these kids that talk over the teacher. They don't give a shit. And they'll be in the back room just talking, not even whispering, while she's giving her lecture. And I find myself getting pissed off to the point where I just get anxious. Like, why isn't she noticing? Am I the only one that can hear them? And I'm like, am I going crazy? Like, they're just talking and not even... There's only the 5 of us. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. See, if I was in the class, I'd be pissed off at the teacher too.
she finally today, for the first time this semester, started calling them out. And I was like, thank you so much for finally just saying something.
Yeah.
Years ago in school, was in a class that had this post-traditional student in it. He's probably in his 40s. I had this. Also, I'll take a 2 chorus, please.
Thank you, barkeep.
Thank ya. Excuse me, wench. I have a pint to ale. What's that? He's who wants a Bud Light.
There's a one in the door. Yeah.
I'm like, the one Bud Light?
Yep. I'm finishing it.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm in a class. There's this guy in there who is in his 40s, and the teacher is roughly the same age. And you notice sometimes when you're in a class and you're the same age as the teacher, or there's people who are the same age as the teacher, there's people in the class that automatically are like, oh, we're equals. Mm-hmm. And which is not, it's not
untrue, but
it's not untrue.
Also...
Yeah, I mean, but also at the same time, if you're...
Grab that lid, it fell underneath your chair. I'm really sorry.
I'm not going to be able to get that.
It's right underneath your butt. It's in your butt.
What in our history together would make you think I can get that?
I don't want to bend over. I want you
Onomatopoeia.
to.
I can't bend into that shape to get that. So
I just made it worse.
So you can't. I'll just grab it for you after.
Is it gonna dry out?
No, I don't think so. It's only just really expensive Copic, Mom.
Oh my god! Fucking passive aggressive.
Thanks.
God. So, it's not untrue that you're not an equal. You're all equal to the teachers, especially in college. They're just human beings that are teaching.
But not in the classroom.
But you're also
you're in a classroom and you're paying for your education.
You're paying for it, so like you want to hear. You should want to hear what they have to say, even if you disagree with it. So it's a
You're
class.
not in line at the fucking grocery store.
Yeah.
And sizing everybody up. Like
that's my biggest pet peeve is when we're at grocery stores and we see somebody we know and it's like, God damn it, we're obligated to talk to you. We just want to go home and eat.
All the time. So I'm in this class. This guy's in there. I have a teacher that's roughly his age, so only a little older at me. I mean, I was a non-traditional student, so I think I was about 28 during this class. This guy is about 41 or 2. Teacher's about the same age. And you could tell he had an issue with the teacher from day one because the teacher had said some comment that was like left-leaning. They're a teacher, by the way, so they're mostly going to be left-leaning.
Right.
But this teacher wasn't like an outspoken libtard. I mean, this teacher just said, I think they said something about Obamacare. This is back in that time.
Right.
This guy, for the rest of the semester, would chime out anytime this teacher had to say anything, and he would just take this opposite point of view, this redneck, right-wing point of view. And I didn't say anything. I'm like, just fucking let him. This teacher's got to be able. The teacher was, I want to say maybe a little intimidated too. Probably a newer teacher.
Yeah.
Little intimidated, didn't ever really say anything. I'm like, oh my God, whatever.
She was being professional about it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not gonna be a white knight here. Even though I'm paying for this too, I'm getting pissed off. We leave. I go to the sub to get food. This guy is there at a table with a few of our classmates who are younger, and somehow he's hanging out with these kids.
Is he holding court?
And I overhear him at this table saying something along the lines of, you can't let these teachers just say whatever the fuck they want. You got to be able to defend yourself, to defend what you believe in. And finally, I'm walking by and I just overhear it. And finally, I'm like, dude, his name's Rob. I go, Rob, we are all paying for this, dude. You've got to shut up in class, man. And he was just like, oh, you got a problem? And I'm like, I do, because you're disrupting the class and it's really annoying. And you're teaching these kids to like speak out against their teacher. They can have their opinions, but look, we're just here to learn, man. And he gets all huffy. He doesn't do anything. Yeah. He just gets huffy. And the next time in class, he's like, well, I better not say anything or Derek will say something to me. And I was like, and the teacher looked at me like, and I was like, yeah, I said something to him. I'm like, yeah, I said something to him. And I wasn't trying to defend the teacher or defend the class or defend the teacher's point of view. All I wanted was just some peace and quiet in that class. Spooky. Man, it was so irritating though to have that.
I thought she was coming over here to give me a kiss.
Oh, you want to give a kiss? Oh. There, bring it over here. Queen of Valhalla, sit on my face. God, we're 12.
All right, well, explain to the people who listen to a podcast what you just did to that ghost, you nasty motherfucker.
Well, you got to watch the show.
Ate her fucking box, bro.
Or don't.
Oh, I like that. She's like a guest.
Yeah.
My husband. She's like the ghost of Red Dead.
Oh, yeah.
My husband.
I was obsessed with her.
Yeah, you were.
I went and saw her like every time I got on Red Dead.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Like, I'm going to go see my wife.
But did you? So, Ward, you attended classes at the same school. Did you have situations like that too, or?
You know, when I went back, because I went back as a non-trad in 2012, in the spring of 2012, and I had a class. It was Intro to Lit, because the first time I took Intro to Lit, I was 19 and didn't give a shit, and
Yeah.
and I think I got a whatever grade I got wasn't good enough to put on my transcripts.
Sure.
For a English major, because I was going back to, or for a secondary ed major, because I was going to go back for to teach English, and so I was in there, and like you, I was paying money for the class, so I was like, you know, it was important to me that I read all of the stories and do all of the things that are required of the class. I had a teacher that I'd had when I was young too, Claire Davis.
Oh yeah,
And
love her.
so, so there was a little bit of like this whole, like, when I had her the first time, I love that picture.
It's good stuff.
That's good.
My pens are all dried up. So I had to use a really shitty marker, and I'm sorry.
That looks good.
But I'll draw more, I promise. Anyways, continue with your Claire Davis story.
Anyway, when
You
I
just
first
dropped a name.
Oh, it's all right. We've talked about Claire Davis on the show
Yeah.
before.
I'm not gonna say anything bad about her.
No, I think we've all pretty much overwhelmingly liked her. She's a tough teacher, but she fucking knows that.
She's a tough teacher, and when I was 20, I got like firsthand experience of how tough of a teacher she was. Like I ended up having to not, I had to not take the creative writing class I wanted to take the second semester, because I was doing acting, and it was conflicting with
Acting?
Yeah, I was in a play.
That's how I got into Juilliard.
And the class was a night class, and it was conflicting with the thing, and so I ended up I either dropped the class or
This is your first time around.
yeah, but I had a really great first semester with her, and then the second
Right.
semester she kind of like gave me like the come to
But
Jesus
the acting
talk.
was when you were young.
Yeah.
Okay.
First time, yeah, it was like 19.
Okay.
And so I'd had that experience, and so now here I am. I'm 33. I'm back, and I'm gonna like. Now I'm like, I'm an adult now, and here's my teacher that I had years and years ago, and so like I could relate with her on a certain level, and I'm also in a class. There's still
And
a handful
I've had that relationship with teachers too,
Right.
because I started school so late. And now because of what I do, I see these teachers all the time, and now I get along with them as a
peer,
as
almost.
as a friend, peer, whatever. Like,
Right. So I'd talked to her a few times after class, but that's kind of not the point of the story. But so the class was like a handful of like non-trads, and then a whole bunch of like young kids.
Yeah.
And so we'd be in there, and it'd be like, who read the story? And like 3 non-trads would raise their hand, and like 1 or 2 like normal kids would raise their hand. And then, so finally one day she like blew up on the class, like, how many of you guys actually want to pass this class? Because I mean, there was tons of people.
Don't get why people don't lie, but
Well, yeah, there were people that lied. I mean, there was but then we do like discussions on what we read, and it's open discussions like in the classroom. So then it'd be like, so I think that the
Nobody
reason
It's good. It was good, and I liked it. It
Or
was
they're
flowed from the page.
Yeah. They're all just kind of like relying on the one person that read it, that spoke to it, to kind of build. Yeah, I did like that he had the bicycle and he went on the rides. And he went down to the water, right? Water.
There is water in it, right?
Water is like a metaphor, right?
It usually is, though.
Yeah, the water was a metaphor.
Bro,
for-
you're usually not wrong, man. You take a Chris Norden class, yes, all you have to say is the water is a symbolism for a baptism, and you'll fucking eat it up. Okay, so here's the thing. I took a class like that, actually, with Chris Norden, and he had a similar situation where it was like, oh my God!
It's like the kid from The Grudge put a sheet on.
Are you a god? Did I ever tell you what happened? I'll have to break my one story to tell you guys this thing. When I worked at the grocery outlet when I was right out of high school, the power went out in the orchards. All the power went out in the orchards. But we had cell phones, barely. I think I was 19 years old, and my sister would have been 16. And I called my sister on her cell phone, and she answered the phone, and I just went, and she cried and cried and cried. And I got home from work, and she was so pissed off. Oh man, all the power went out in the orchard. She was terrified.
Yeah.
And it was around Halloween.
Well, you remember when you remember when you were a kid and your parents were like, if somebody calls, you don't ever tell them that your parents aren't home. You say they're busy right now. Can I take a message? Mm-hmm. And then, so I like I think it was like I was 9, and my parents were letting me like rock it at home for the summer while my parents worked. Yeah. And so, because I think my dad was working Forest Service that summer, and my mom was working not very far away. Mm-hmm. So I would call often, like if the fish took in 3 pieces of gravel from the bottom of the fish tank and got stuck in its mouth, I'd be freaking out. The fish is gonna die.
Kids are stupid.
So my mom's like, yeah, it'll either spit it out or it'll die. There's nothing we can do about it.
Right.
You can't really
apply CPR to the trout.
So, this one time, this guy calls and he's like, "Hey, I think he might have said his name. Hey, this is Bob. Is your dad there?" I mean, it was like
it's me all alone.
I'm like, well, it was a really friendly call. And so I was like, I don't think so. No. Okay, well, is your mom there? No. Okay, well, I'll call back later. Click. And like, I didn't even get a chance to be like, oh, they're busy right now. Can I get them? And so I freaked out and called my mom at work. She got so many calls from me.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh man, we used to call our mom when we were fighting. Of course, that really pissed her off.
Kids. That's the majority of the calls I get from my kids.
Derek won't let me have the controller.
If I try to call them on the house, because we have a house phone. Mm-hmm. If I try to call them,
no answer.
They won't answer. They only know where the phone is when they want to use it to call me.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny.
You're talking about scaring your sister.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I had shitty stepsisters, what I would do to keep them out of my room and out of the basement where all of my old toys were, I had this American Girl doll that I drew all over her face, and I cut her hair, and I totally fucked her up. And she was pretty scary.
Oh my God.
And so what I would do is I would leave her standing up at the bottom of the stairs to the basement, so when they turned the light on, she would just be at the foot of the stairs. And then they got so scared of that doll that I brought her up to my room, and it helped keep them out of my room. And they were like, why is she in your room? And I'm like, I don't know. She just won't stay out of my room. She just keeps appearing. And every time I go and put her in the basement. She just won't stop appearing in my room.
We used to prank my mom all the time. And one time I called my mom. Cell phones are like still pretty new. We called our mom. We had a landline. And it went to the answering machine. And I was calling her to ask a question, but it went to the answering machine because my mom would screen her phone calls. It went to the answering machine, and I said, "Hello there. I'm gonna gut you like a fucking fish."
Jesus.
Okay, so that's me leaving work. I called the house. I used to prank her all the time. We used to do stuff like that all the time. I call and I go, "Hello, I see you. I'm gonna gut you like a fucking fish." Okay, so I get home from work. Okay, so I get home after I just left this series of messages because I called 2 or 3 times. Like, "What are you doing, Tracy?" Just fucking around, you know. Figure she has call ID. She knows. She knows what I'm doing, or she's not home. You know, I don't know. I get home. My mom is home, and she's bawling. I get home. I walk through the door. She's like, "Lock the door behind you." And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Someone's been calling and harassing me." I'm like, "Mom, that was me. I was fucking with you." And she's like, "You can't do that." And I matured a little late as far as like, basically, my balls dropped overnight. Basically, I mean, when I worked at Teleperformance USA when I was like 15, and I'd get mistaken for a woman all the time on the phone. Like, "Hey, would you like to buy?" I mean, there's one time where I called somebody and it was a woman. I was asking for the man of the house, like for the guy of the house, like Tim something, you know. And she's like, "Who's this? Who's this? Calling my fucking husband." Like, I was like, "I'm like, ma'am, I'm a boy. I'm a boy, and I'm trying to sell you this stuff." You know. So I had a girl voice, and I got home. My mom was like crying and crying and crying. And she played the messages back for me, and I didn't realize that my voice had changed. And it sounded really actually scary. And I felt so bad that I never did it again that summer.
That summer.
I did other stuff, but I didn't do that again. I actually did feel genuinely bad, though, that she was so, like, rattled. I figured she had caller ID, though, you know?
Yeah.
But the caller ID didn't work that great at the time.
Right.
All it has is a number. If that.
Yeah, if that.
Felt horrible. I'm gonna gut you like a fucking fish.
Do you want to do your...
Do you want to show us the internet? Bree?
No.
Good yes and. Hey. Do you want to show us the internet?
Why?
Just show us your memes.
Okay.
Show us the internet. This is a segment we're going to try.
Okay.
Where Bree's going to show us the internet that we don't know.
Okay.
And it's not the dark web. It's actually memes.
Oh, shit. I fucked this up then.
Why?
I just got a bunch of butthole porn.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Like eating out of the soup bowl. That kind of butthole.
Oh, my God.
Oh, what the hell? Did I just exit out of it?
I don't know.
We might not be tech savvy enough for this, guys.
Christ.
We might not be.
Oh, Christ. Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Yo, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, where is it?
Right there.
I go to just here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you press play and then unmute. I don't know if this is gonna work. That's fun. No, let's grab
We'll
it.
do it another
We'll
time.
figure
We
it
gotta
out.
workshop.
We gotta
this.
figure out how to do it.
This is, yeah.
There's got to be a way to hook up our phones and just see the phone screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We'll figure it out another way. We'll scrap it for now.
That's weird. I can't even like unmute it.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind.
Okay, never
We're
mind.
we're not doing that.
It's getting
Changed her
late
mind.
anyway.
Changed her minds. Bree's still drawing. She's finishing one up.
Okay.
Working on one.
Did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I do. I have a thing that I wrote.
We haven't talked anything about what's going on or what happened.
No. Yeah. So I have not been on the show for the last few weeks,
You
except
were
for
on
last week. I was on last
we
week's
didn't
show.
talk anything about it.
No, that was the first show I'd been on in a while. Because recently, and it's apropos to say the funny stories for my mom over the ways we used to prank her. One of the other ways we used to prank her is, do you know in your kitchen sink you have that little thing that you squeeze the handle and you can spray your dishes. You use it for like a dishwasher. We used to tie a rubber band around the handle of that thing, so whenever you turn the water on, it would just spray out. So she'd turn the water on. She'd be getting ready to go to work, turn on the water, spray her, and we'd be in our rooms, and we'd hear. It probably happened 20 times. And we'd hear her just go. We'd hear her in the kitchen just go, every damn time, or something like that, and we'd just snicker and laugh. My sister and I did that to her a bunch. Funny stuff. We pranked her mom all the time. She was I'll say, my mom was a great sport. On October 12th, a Saturday, my mom passed away at Sacred Heart in Spokane. And you listening to the show who was friends of her mom or family, we're having a memorial service on the 9th. Just look me up on Facebook and ask me about it. I'm not going to say where and what time on the show, because I don't want a bunch of goddamn strangers or fans of this show on there. You guys are creeps. We're having a memorial service for her, though. She passed away. She was a good lady. She gave great advice. And so, but one thing that a lot of people don't know is that my mom was the biggest fan of this show. In fact, my mom started listening to the Basement Boys back in 2009 when I just got on the show. 9 or 8?
2000. It would have been 2009. 2008 was
That's
when I
right.
started it, and then you came on early.
Yep, 2009. My mom listened to those very first episodes when I was even a guest.
Yeah.
I told my mom I was even going to be a guest, and she listened to those for first few episodes. Then I got on the show as a regular and then a co-host, and she listened to all of the Basement Boys episodes until I was done with the show. There was an instance in 2009 or 10 where we chronicled my journey of finding my dad and my dad's family out there.
It's one of the bonus pieces.
Yeah, you can go back and listen to it. We actually saved that.
Yeah.
I talked about that experience on the show. And he passed away in 2001. I never met him. But Ward had said this joke because I was conceived in 1984 that he probably did a line of coke off her stomach, because the 80s. My mom heard that episode and laughed at it. And then Ward came over to my house. It was my mom's house because I didn't live there at the time. And he came over there and met my mom. And I don't think that you really knew my mom listened to all of the episodes at that time. And then my mom says, "Oh, is this the one that said that he did coke off my stomach?" She said some kind of cheeky joke.
She was like something. It was she introduced herself. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Hi, I'm Tracy. I'm Derek's mom." Or you might know me as like the lady that his dad did coke
off
from
the stomach. And
you,
your eyes were so wide. Yeah, just without words. She had a sincerely dark and pretty twisted sense of humor. So much so that the day before she passed away, she was talking about when before she's cremated, she wanted to make sure that they poked her with a stick 3 times to make sure that she was actually dead. That was just kind of the sense of humor she had. She always had. She was funny. She's funny, and she can make light of really bad situations, and she gave really good advice. We'll miss that. We'll miss that sincerely.
Yeah.
I talk to my sister all the time, and it's the irony of is not lost on me that the tough time I've been going through right now with her passing, she'd be the one person I would go to.
Yeah.
To try to get through this situation.
Yeah, I mean, moms are that way. I mean,
Yeah.
because well, my mom died in 2008, and then shortly thereafter, I started doing the podcast, and that was kind of like, for me, the catharsis.
Yeah.
But yeah, you never lose that need to want to be like,
yeah,
hey, can I ask you a question? Or hey, can you help me with this? And you know, and even as I get older, it's like you long for that sometimes, or you want to have that person to vent to. I'm like 8 years away now from being the same age my mom was when she passed away.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a scary thought.
Yeah.
Too.
Sobering.
Yeah.
I on Sunday, the day after she passed away, I was watching the Steelers. My mom was a Steelers fan. That's why I'm a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
Probably a bandwagoner from the 70s when they were good. And that's how you create new fans, though,
Yeah.
is by being a bandwagoner.
Yeah, we have a whole episode about that.
We've talked about that. That Sunday, the Steelers were playing a third-string quarterback, Devlin Hodges, and they were beating the Chargers in L.A., and for a split second, I mean, it was the day after, a split second, I was like, I got to text my mom and tell her to turn on the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit, that's not a thing. I still have a voicemail on my phone from my mom, which is very short, but it's basically along the lines of, hey, I'm okay. I don't want to leave you a message. I love you. Bye. And then it's like 30 seconds of her trying to hang the phone up, which is perfect. She left that short message, though, because she used to drive me nuts because she would leave podcast length messages on my phone. I went to my sister's house a couple days ago so we can write the obituary, and Mandy has a voicemail on her phone that's super long. So Mandy apparently never talked to her about leaving a minute or 2 minute long voicemails on her phone. But it was cool. It was cool to hear the voicemail. I wish now in retrospect I would have kept the voicemails.
Yeah.
Or at least a voicemail. You don't know that, though. You don't know that's coming.
Right.
So with that said, I did write a thing, because my mom was such a fan of the show. Where I was going with that is she listened to all of Basement Boys 1. When we rebooted the show, she was instantly back in listening to Basement Boys 2. Only this time around, much easier access. She was able to watch on YouTube. Very cool. She's easy for her to get on there and watch. We made it way more accessible for her. She was disabled for the last 10 years, so it was nice that it was just easy for her to reach.
Yeah.
And she listened to up until the last episode before that I was on.
That's awesome.
And that was cool.
Yeah.
She's a big fan of the show. So I wrote this. It's called Mom Biggest Fan. And I kind of wanted to read it on the air because I feel like it's a shout out to the biggest fan we've had of this show. And really just in general, my biggest fan. One of the things that I was really glad my mom got to see before she passed away this year is that she got to see my wedding this year as well. And I was glad to see, I get in retrospect, I'm glad to see that my mom got to meet Bree and get to know her a little bit and go to that wedding and see that I'm in good hands. I have another biggest fan who supports me in the stupid shit that I do. And is another good sounding board to be able to talk to, and has done a big part of getting me through this entire process. And
which is daunting.
It is, and it's been nice to have Bree though, and I guess if timing was going to be anything, I'm glad my mom's not in pain anymore, and I'm glad that it was after she got to see the wedding and see with somebody that makes me happy, and I'm in good hands. So, Mom, biggest fan. Some of this will sound familiar because I kind of touched on this before I'm reading it. The irony isn't lost on me that the person I would turn to in a difficult time is gone, and that's why I'm having the difficulty. It never mattered how gross we were, or if we made fun of my childhood, or if I made fun of her at all. She took a special pride in knowing she was some of the subject matter of my humor. Faithfully, she tuned into our show week in and week out. Our biggest fan. My biggest fan. She supported my pursuit of comedy, writing, podcasting, acting, and even singing terribly. She wanted us to keep creativity alive. She wanted us to keep trying. When it came to work, she had great advice that I'll always keep in mind. I'll never be able to ask for advice enough. I should have asked more often. She was great at letting me bitch about everything and anything. I'll always be thankful for her willingness to listen. I wish I would have done it more often. Thank you, Mom. I miss you. I'm sorry I wasn't around more often. I'm sorry I didn't come by the house. I'll never get that time back, but I'll remember the times that I did. And I'll remember your podcast-length voicemails that drove me nuts. Thank you.
Nice.
There we go. I got through it. Thanks, Mom.
Here's to Tracy.
Salud. She's a good lady. We lost a really faithful listener, but hopefully they get podcasts wherever she's at.
Yeah.
Who knows? But it's been a rough week, but we'll get through it. If any of you listen to the show, is just thinking about this, but especially if you follow me on Twitter and you've seen some of the stuff I've said on there, if you get a chance, just reach out. Let's hear this is my one sappy moment. Reach out to your family and just let them know how you feel about them, because you just really have no idea the time we have. We're all on borrowed time. We didn't know how imminent her passing was. We knew she's been sick a long time, but this really did creep up on us. So you just don't know.
Yeah.
But
it sneaks out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah. R.I.P. Mom. I'll miss you. I love you. Drawing's really coming along. It looks good. She always makes me thinner than what I am in real life, and I appreciate that.
That's kind.
It is. It's very kind. I appreciate it.
If I do the same for me,
Yeah, oh yeah.
we gotta be kind to ourselves in small ways.
Watch this.
We do. That's a good. I like that. Okay. Jesus.
What was that? Good.
I've been wondering what you were doing. All right. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thanks
I
for
think
letting
that's
me.
all for tonight. Before we do go, if you do want to find that snippet, this is from our Snippets and Time Spent Poorly, where we went back and I've gone back and pulled some stuff. This is the one from June 16th called Northern Exposure. It's the
That's the one.
and it was right around Father's Day when I released this one. So the year is 2010, and Derek shares with the others the story of his journey to find his biological father.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good listen. It's only 19 minutes long. It's fun and informative, entertaining.
I like this. Honey.
Good luck.
Nice.
I've been trying to like line up the stuff.
These are great. Oh my goodness. Look at this.
I haven't done Rick yet.
Nice.
Spit in my mouth.
Love it. Yeah, those are great.
You're an Andre the Giant type. You can't see him.
Hey, look at these white sheets of paper.
Anybody want a
Did
peanut?
absolutely nothing this
Oh,
entire time.
anybody want a peanut? It sounds more like I was trying to do Andre the Giant, but I sound more like
Those are awesome.
it's finally time for what's his name off of Futurama? The lobster guy.
Oh, not Squidward. Zoidberg.
Oh, Zoidberg gets a win. Anybody want a peanut? Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for listening. We'll catch you.
Happy Halloween!
We'll be back. We're taking actual Halloween off. We'll be back the following week, and then there may be some off weeks as we near the Thanksgiving and the holiday times. Anyway, we'll catch you in a couple weeks. See you later.
Thanks.
Bye.